What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Cipher Sessions. I'm Enrique.
I'm Yo.
I'm the Abundant Alchemist.
And let's just jump right into it, guys, right? We had a busy week. We have a lot to talk to the viewers about. So let's just jump into some of the most recent news, which is the Federal Reserve, Fed Powell, was actually on the news the other day, kind of giving his take on where we are from an economic perspective, what they're trying to do, and where we're going, right? So that speech was pretty pivotal, right? If you think about it, it's one guy pretty much controlling the global outcome, right? So he said some interesting things in that speech. He said that the Fed won't take any actions on increasing rates until potentially March, which is interesting. So the markets, prior to his speech, you saw that the markets were red in and out. Today, the markets were a little greener, a little lighter. And I think it's because of the fact that rates weren't raised, right? So when rates aren't raised, companies have the ability to borrow more. Consumers have the ability to borrow more. And so as that's happening, you have this rise. But because of the fact that there's so much money in the economy and it's pumping, inflation is just heating up. So what the federal government is trying to do by raising rates is they're trying to kind of pull the reins back on inflation and kind of ease the horse a bit. Because if they pull rates up, then what happens is as rates get higher, then it makes it more expensive for consumers to borrow money. It makes it more expensive for corporations to kind of borrow money. And so when you increase the rates, people aren't borrowing. So the money supply kind of eases, right? But the only thing with that is as the money supply eases, corporations aren't spending as much, so earnings aren't as high. So you have the potential for stock prices to kind of dip if rates are raised too fast, right? But the Fed is kind of in between a rock and a hard place, because if they don't raise rates, then you have the potential for inflation to just run wild. Right now, we're at 7%, quote unquote. But if they don't do anything about that, you have the potential for rates to just keep going. If they do raise rates, you could see a downturn on the market. The market could get scared because there's going to be a tightening. Fed Powell also gave a comment where he stated that they were going to ease up on quantitative easing. So there's going to be a lot of less money being pumped into the markets. So it was interesting to see the way that the markets reacted. I think a lot of it was already taken into consideration prior to the speech. I don't know that the traditional market was expecting anything that would mention that rates would go into effect immediately, right? The Fed is kind of pivoting, right? They're kind of like, they have their head on a swivel. They're watching the market. Should we raise rates? Should we not raise rates? They'll give a comment. We might raise rates in March. They sit back. How does the market react? So it's a really reactive position that the Federal Reserve is in right now. So it's interesting to see. So we'll see what happens here within the next few months with regards to the traditional markets. But with that, it's a nice segue into how the crypto market is reacting as a result and just how it's reacting in general. So for that, I'm going to just punt it over to Manolo, so Manolo could just bring you guys home with that.
All right. Hey, what's going on, guys? So, yeah, after the Fed speaking yesterday, all markets pretty much didn't feel as reassured as they would have liked to feel from the words that he was saying. As you could see, I mean, Bitcoin has been in a downtrend, and it seems like we're getting some form of resistance at the 33K level. Right now, we're currently at between 36 and 37, closer to 37. It's the most oversold that it has been since the beginning of the COVID crisis. So since then, there hasn't been that much, I guess, uncertainty, and the market has been reflecting that. With that said, I mean, there is room for it to go further down, but I don't think there's much room. It's a great buying opportunity. I think much like it is in many sectors of equities, you have to, I would say, be choosy, be smart about what you're getting into. But overall, I think the majority of the pain is behind us, being that we've seen the sell-off happen before the Fed had anything to say, and it hasn't really moved down in any drastic way since the Fed has spoken. So a whole lot of nothing really happening, I would say, in the space all around. We are currently down 7% in total market cap without Bitcoin. Now, when you add Bitcoin to the equation, the entire market cap of crypto is down 5%. So it would be, a bloodbath in the stock market if that were the case. But this is crypto. I mean, it's not too horrible, in my opinion.
Can
I
I
like
ask?
that.
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
No, I was gonna say, do you think a lot of the reason, or most of the reason that we're seeing the price drop has to do with the uncertainty? Like how people like to say FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, I guess. What do you guys think?
Um, would you like to chime in, E?
No. Go ahead. That's all
Okay.
you. I
So
have a question, follow-up question, but
perfect.
hit this one up.
So I don't think it's FUD. The crypto space was, at a high of 68 Bitcoin in particular. And it's been, you have to understand that the participants in the crypto space have pretty much been the same participants that have been here since like last summer. So the money's just been cycling around the same hands over and over. And I think that it came to a point where whales are sort of just watching regulation and waiting on something major to happen and taking this as an opportunity to manipulate the markets. It's in their best interest, and why wouldn't they do that if they could do so in order to get a better position, scare the weak hands? And I think that's what we saw. We saw weak hands, people that just may have started in this space, although not many, but being scared, not knowing how to react whenever there is a downturn, and then a little bit of selling ends up turning into just a mountain piling
But
up.
that's what I was saying. Like the noise is the fear of people, not the uncertainty.
Yeah,
Is kind of like
yeah.
making people want to sell.
It's, I think, a little bit of everything. Nobody could be for sure. It doesn't help that we have a possible war or talks of war happening. I don't think that the markets necessarily like that. And I think it's just a little bit of everything.
Cool.
Okay. I have one of my favorite sayings is from Warren Buffett. So he has this saying that goes, when people are fearful, be greedy. When people are greedy, be fearful. Right.
Absolutely.
So right now there's a lot of fear. And so to your point, you made an interesting point where you said whales are watching, right? And so crypto is dominated by a lot of whales. And so I think you have this occurrence where people that are new to the crypto space, or even people that have been in the space for a while, when they see the market dip or they see the market go low, they have the tendency to sell, right? And then once that price goes down, then the whales come in and absorb or gobble up. So, but I think what happens with that is twofold, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? I think that's a combination of the people that are selling, for the most part, either bought too high, and when the price started dipping, they didn't want to lose that much money, so they sold, or they gambled with money that they couldn't afford to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a combination of the two. And I think it's also the whales just watching and waiting, and just as the market dips, they're gobbling up on cheaper prices and then just riding the wave back up. What do you think? Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the time to buy. If you were considering buying past 50, past 60, it's like, why wouldn't you get in now? It's ironic that you see people in line to buy Bitcoin at 60, driving it to all-time highs, but it hits 33 and it takes a couple of days before we could get near 40. So I think it's just psychology. And
definitely,
as an investor, why would I? And I did buy at about 60, 65, not a huge amount, but I bought because I'm very confident that this thing could go to 100.
right?
And so simply because it's gone down by 50% in the short term, that my conviction doesn't
dollar cost averaging.
Yeah, I'm just dollar cost averaging, and I think it's a great time to buy right now.
Better than Black Friday.
Absolutely,
consider it a Black Friday. Yeah.
And like the banner says below, this is not financial.
Not financial.
Absolutely.
But on that note, you know what I think is funny that you see in crypto Twitter, and I'm not saying that I'm a whale by any means, but you'll when things are roaring and prices are surging and they're out of control, you'll hear or you'll see these comments. I can't wait for the dip so that I can buy more, right? Yeah. And then those are the people that when the dip is coming, they're like, what did I ask for, right?
Right.
It's easier to call the devil than to actually see him coming, right? So I think a lot of people that call for this, once the dip actually happens, then they're kind of shaken out. But it's the same thing for even traditional markets, right? The majority of your money will be made when prices are low, because if things are overvalued and too expensive, then you're not making as much return as you would if you were buying lower,
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. And for some more better news, the next piece is a video, and this is pretty much the UFC is getting into the metaverse.
Oh,
it's a short video, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it.
To do a fight in the metaverse.
What is that?
Really? We've been working on it for a while. It'll be a live fight, an actual fight that takes place inside the metaverse.
Whoa. What
does that look like?
Yeah, well, it'd be kids at home could, you put on your fucking goggles and you can fucking get up and go walk around. And, we're still working it out, but yeah, it'll be soon. We'll be doing a fight in the metaverse.
Metaverse fighters.
Yeah.
Yo, that's so cool.
It'll be a real fight.
You're just at home in your room, just fucking swinging. Like
you get like ringside seats or something. Like if you have the goggles on,
you can buy seats. Yeah.
So you, but you're like, oh, okay, yeah, wow, it's pretty crazy. Will that take away, you think, from like what?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Are you nervous about all this metaverse fucking things up for you and your business?
No. Look, technology has been very good to us, man. Mm-hmm. Our stuff works very well with all the
UFC has such a cult following too.
And it just works with everything. It works with social media. It works with streaming.
And that was courtesy of Firefox channel. So thank you and kudos for putting that up. And that was via the Full Send podcast.
Dude, that's
pretty cool stuff.
Super dope, man. I mean, if I think about it, right, you have various. So crypto is this train that's just going, right? And everyone's trying to get on board. So the UFC is just trying to get a piece of the pie, right? You think about what they're actually doing. They're adding an additional revenue source by putting this on the metaverse, right? You're going to have people that go there live. You're going to have people that watch this on pay-per-view with their friends. And you're going to have people that have the Oculus or any type of virtual reality device that they're going to watch the fight on the metaverse to experience like I don't know how deep they're gonna get, but can you imagine you buy tickets to the metaverse fight and you're just sitting there, but if you want to get up and you want to walk over to the concession stand,
Oh
like I
yeah,
mean,
dude.
like how deep
If you
can
want to
you
come
get?
visit me in the bleachers, you can just walk up the steps because that's where I'm gonna be at.
You buy your T-shirts, get them in NFT
Yeah,
form,
dude.
you receive them in the mail.
Oh my god, that's such a dope concept though. If you think about that, the abundant, the abundant. But that's a dope concept though. If you think about it, like you buy a shirt in the metaverse and then you get it at home. How dope is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And just think about like this is possibly just the tip of the iceberg. If this works and is a success for the UFC, think about all these other sports that are falling second in line to gaming sports. You know, you have, I think there's only like one sport that's competing. I think that's football. It's either football or baseball, but I know basketball, tennis, like there's just not much that could compete right now with online gaming because the audience is so huge. So if they see this being a success with the UFC, they're going to take note and they're going to run into this space.
And the UFC has a game, so imagine if you can create your character, and with that character, you can go to the stadium and watch a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
Like that'd be pretty sick.
Like an avatar,
There you go.
Avatar, right?
And they could probably place bets using crypto.
Yeah.
Ooh, now we're cooking.
Yeah.
Look at
That's
that.
the like you imagine you dude, it's funny, right? You think of these things on the fly and then you imagine like to your point, like imagine you're at the UFC fight and you said you purchase a shirt.
Right.
But imagine you're purchasing this shirt using your cryptocurrency and then you get it in real life, right? Like the digital aspect of all things just connecting
Yep.
for what they consider the internet of value is just phenomenal.
Or maybe your seat, in order to get a seat, you would have to have an NFT.
Ooh.
You know, and then you can lease it out. So like
VIP.
I'll make you some money. Let's say somebody who doesn't have a token wants to experience it in the metaverse, you can tell them your seat. And you know, the UFC does like 2 events a month or so. So, you know,
like you think, but are you talking like being like a season ticket holder and then
exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you would need the NFT in order, you know, just like how that fly fish was trying to do it, you know?
Yeah. Dope concept. I like it.
All right, next article. Let's go. This one is the BNB article. Manolo, you want to bring this one in?
Sure. Yes. So BNB.
Actually, yep, BNB 1 second.
So this is an article thanks to investing.com, just going over the insane performance in 2021 of 1,344%. A lot of it being due to the fact that BNB is the largest. BNB is Binance. It's the largest crypto exchange in the world by volume. And so the utility of BNB is that it allows you to save 25% off of every trade, selling or buying, which is a nice perk to have BNB. I remember it being about $15 in 2020, 2019, 2020. And it's outperformed Bitcoin. That's only gone up 73% in 2021. And Ethereum, which was up 455%, not too shabby in 2021. Yet BNB has blown these 2 top coins out of the water as far as its percentage increase. So I'm bullish on Binance Coin. I'd like to tie that into, the Binance Smart Chain due to it enabling smart contracts and also lowers transaction costs. Because why wouldn't I? If I'm bullish on Link as well, that does something similar. and we'll get into that on the next article. But because I am so bullish on Binance Coin, and you see the percentage gain that it had, I'm very bullish as well on CRO, which is the coin for Crypto.com. And the reason why is, one, you see already this model that's worked with Binance, right? Now, up until this point, I don't think that CRO allows you a discount when trading with their coin. Personally, as a side note, I wouldn't use Crypto.com to trade. It's more of my HODL account, and this is because as a trader, I don't see their platform represented on TradingView. So it creates a lag in pricing. If somebody could, in the notes, prove me wrong, please, that would be very beneficial to maybe myself and a lot of other people. With that said, Crypto.com has invested over $100 million in an ad campaign over 20 countries, similar to FTX, which has invested $20 million with Tom Brady. Matt Damon is in a CRO commercial, which we could roll, and it's pretty cool. Take a look, guys.
1 second.
And while he's got that being set up,
and I have a follow-up when you're done after the video on the BNB.
Sure. And
you know what? We'll play the video. We'll play the video at the end. That way.
All right, we'll have that at the end.
Okay.
What I do and why I like Crypto.com is because if you choose to stake enough CRO, you get this Visa rewards card that pays you back in CRO. Nice. Whenever you swipe, and you get specials on Spotify, which we use. So in essence, we get paid back in CRO for the Spotify that we're paying for. If you like Netflix, another tier helps you with that. But yeah, BNB, very bullish, CRO bullish. I think it's a good time to buy, not financial advice.
Oh, that was going to be my next question. So yeah. I guess you kind of answered it. So the question that I was going to ask is for the viewers, right? For BNB and for CRO, where do you think we are in terms of a wave? Like, not financial advice, of course, but do you think it's a good opportunity for someone to get in now? Or do you think they should wait a little bit? Do you think that it's so hot that it may dip? Or where are we right now in terms of what you think a viewer should do if they were looking to invest in something like BNB or CRO?
Absolutely. So BNB, due to the fact that it has its use case, I think like what I've done personally is just buy like $20 worth. This thing could easily 2x, possibly 3x. I can't say, by when, but my estimation would be somewhere around September. But if you are bullish on BNB, as I am, I think a better return on your investment would be into CRO because of the fact that we saw it go up to 90 cents not too long ago in November. I had a lot of friends and family that got into this coin with this rush and the news of the stadium being purchased. And I heard this news, I was a little upset because I'm like, this is not when you buy, guys. You buy it now when people are scared and people are asking themselves, should I buy this thing? Yes. I personally did yesterday. So I think it dipped a little bit more since then. So if I didn't have so many other coins that I have my eye on, I would definitely be buying more. But,
and Manolo, can they get that in the US? Can they still get that on Binance.us, or is it a different coin for the US?
So CRO, as far as
Binance,
BNB, both Binance and Binance.us.
Okay, you can get them both on there. Cool.
To your point, there's this interesting saying in the crypto space. I think it's not even in the crypto space. I think it's just in general, where you were saying that people were buying when the news came out, right? There's this saying in crypto that I think, and in general markets, that I think is very interesting. And it says, you buy the rumor, you sell the news, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you
Yep.
get a taste of something that's in the air before it's mainstream, you buy. Once it's in the news, it's too late, right?
Right.
Because you're just like, that wave is just gone. So I just thought it was a
And not
interesting
financial
comment.
advice.
Exactly, not financial
Yeah.
advice, but I mean, to your point, where
Yeah.
you were saying that
Yeah.
you know a lot of people that were buying on the news of Crow, right? You you buy the rumor, sell the news.
But
Right.
absolutely bullish on all of these coins.
And I think BNB is the next 4 exchanges below it combined still don't surpass the volume on Binance, right? It's something like ridiculous like that, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
they're huge.
all right, next article, Manolo.
All right, and this article, thanks to the Daily Hodl. So, analyst Michael Van de Pope, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, is saying that this year is going to be all about DeFi and oracles. He's very bullish on Chainlink due to its use case. So, what Chainlink brings to the table is it allows the connection of real world info with blockchain. So, say, for example, if we have a blockchain in which people can, let's go back to the UFC example, we're placing bets on fighters and who lands a knockout punch. Now we're going to be reliant on some kind of reliable system to give us this real world data, and Chainlink would be that tool. I am very bullish on Chainlink because it's shown itself to be a nice, stable coin that if you're just patient enough, you're going to see a return. It's been very boring. It's been underhyped. It's super oversold, in my opinion. Right now, it's at about $14.70. We had in recent range of high at 35, so easy 2x, not financial advice. Mr. Vanderpope is saying that he's targeting first after we push past the resistance of the $35 mark, 77, and then $120. And I don't disagree with them at all. I'm very bullish on Chainlink. Again, I keep on using this example, but it's like stocking up on shovels when everybody is super hyped for a gold rush.
Just a quick question, maybe so that the viewers get a little taste, right? So what would propel a coin from a $75 valuation to 120, let's say? Like what do you think would need to happen in the market in order to move that coin in that direction? Would it be news? Would it just be usage? What do you think would do it?
Yeah, it could be a number of things. It could be a partnership. It could be an announcement of a partnership.
Regulation.
Yeah, it could always be manipulation.
Regulation.
Manipulation.
Oh, regulation. Yes. It could be. Now, I'll tell you one thing right now. Chainlink has an academy that's live. So smart contract developers could learn how to code and build apps for free. So let's say, for example, there's just some serendipity that happens and one of these developers creates the next best thing and they're doing it on Chainlink and everybody wants this next best thing. That could certainly, have it rocket to 120. Now,
and to that point, sorry if I will, right? You made an interesting comment. You said smart contracts, right? Mm-hmm. What network is gobbling up most of the smart contracts right now, right? Is Ethereum, but it's way too expensive, right?
Right.
So if you have something like Chainlink that's less, it's more cost efficient, that could potentially also be a driver of price, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, they've partnered up with Cardano. So a lot of people are just patiently waiting for Cardano to launch something. And I know that they're working heavily in Africa with housing. So real estate, that's, in need of smart contracts. That could be a usage. And once the floodgates are open, once people begin to be housed, that could send it, ripping upwards.
I know the Link Marines are happy to hear that, Manolo.
Yeah. They've been
All
patient.
right. Yeah. And the next piece of news is a video of, the Crypto.com commercial.
History is filled with almosts, with those who almost adventured, who almost achieved, but ultimately, for them it proved to be too much. Then there are others, the ones who embrace the moment and commit. And in these moments of truth, these men and women, these mere mortals, just like you and me, as they peer over the edge, they calm their minds and steel their nerves with 4 simple words that have been whispered by the intrepid since the time of the Romans. Fortune favors the brave.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I remember this playing when, what was it? It was like Thanksgiving, and the crypto space was fairly boring back then. This commercial kind of made me, even though I have it in the back of my mind always, it reminded me why I am in this space. Fortune favors the brave. What are we currently seeing across all financial sectors, not just in the US, worldwide? And yes, this is a new thing. It's almost like getting into a rocket ship and going into the unknown, unexplored terrain, crypto to many. And I think that's a perfect example. It's a great commercial.
It's very well done, dude. And to get Matt Damon to do it was perfect. It makes me want to, break my son's piggy bank and put that into crypto, to be honest.
Put it into CRO.
Yeah, I mean, I think to Manolo's point, right? It's uncharted waters for a lot of people, but I think if you think about this space holistically, right, and you think about that comment, fortune favors the brave, right? Those people that were early investors in the internet, those people that took a chance on something that they saw the potential for in the future, made decent returns, right? And so that's what cryptocurrency is. It's a relatively new tech. We're still in its infancy. There's still a lot of rails that have to be built. There's still a lot of adoption. There's still regulations, but we're early enough where the returns can be pretty decent if you make the right decisions and do your own research.
We're in the first trimester and the baby's not even born. So
super early, guys.
Super early. Unbelievable.
I mean, think about, the tech sector when it first started, Amazon's, Microsoft. It was boring for a while and they went through their hard times. Imagine selling Amazon
when they only sold books.
$200 to $100 on an off day.
Yeah.
Just to see it later get to, I don't even know where. I'm sure it's in the thousands, over $1,000 per stock, So this is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
It's a vision.
And, with that said, dude, I think this is a great way to end it. What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
I agree.
I think,
guys, if you enjoyed this video, please share with someone, like it, share it, subscribe, write in the comments. We do a pretty good job. Shout out to Enrique. He, really follows up with you guys. We appreciate it. all the support, and I appreciate you guys too, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Before we go, there was one comment about the evolution of money and how the Federal Reserve System started in Jekyll Island. So maybe potentially we'll do a future episode on that, just to kind of let people know where the Federal Reserve started, how it's impacted money as we know it, inflationary, and why that potentially leads to where we are today in terms of crypto. So it's the evolution of where the Fed started, but more to come. Just letting you guys know, we are reading the comments.
And we appreciate it. Any videos, anything you guys need, you know, we'll try to pump it out. Just, you know, let us know.
Yeah, what do you want to hear about? Please.
Yep.
Love it.
All right, guys.
All
Peace out.
Cipher out.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Bye.